The World Cup, arguably the best event created by mankind. It's also the place where brands like Nike spend insane amount of money on their ads. I wanted to see what I can do with AI. So in this video, I'll be breaking down how to make AI videos like this.
He's in on goal. Can he finish? Goal! Van Nistelrooy!
Everything you just saw was 100% AI generated. We're talking characters, location, to even some of the story was AI generated. Now in this video, I'll be breaking down several different techniques that you can apply yourself in your own AI videos. First, we're gonna start with pre-production. So every video starts with a story behind it. And the reason for this video was my childhood dream of becoming a footballer. Unfortunately, I just wasn't good enough, but with the help of AI, I suddenly play for the Dutch national team. That is the whole reason behind it. I wanted to make an ad or like a kind of like inspiring motivational type video that goes over me as a child growing up watching my idols play football. And then I hustle my way through the academy. I eventually am signed and I become a Nike athlete that is gonna make his big move in a really important game. So that is the foundation of our story. We can now start working on our characters. Now, making your character is one of the most important parts because every great movie, every great video has a main character in there. If we're talking about Breaking Bad, we got Walter White. If you think about The Hunger Games, you got Katniss Everdeen. And if you're talking about Fight Club, Tyler Durden pops up into your head. So those are some of the main characters. Now in my movie, I play the main character, but you also want to create a bit of lore behind the character. So you want to think like, what does the character talk like? How does this character act? What does this character do? That is the thing that you need to think of when you're making your AI videos. So for my ad, I wanted to make a version of me growing up. So I have 4 different variations of me. We got me as a 6-year-old, a 15-year-old, an 18-year-old, and we got me as my adult version that I am now. Now, the way I made this is super simple. For this, we'll be using Higgsfield because we're using a few of their custom tools, like their location creator, their Soulcast, and also Higgsfield supercomputer. If you want to check it out, I will leave a link to them in the description down below. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a character sheet of our character. In this case, it's me. It's that simple that I just took this really shitty screenshot of me and I made this Gucci tracksuit, and that's all there is. Create a photorealistic character sheet of this person wearing this outfit, gray background, front, back, and a detailed close-up on the face. I'm using Nano Pro for this because it's the cheapest model out there and I want you to be saving some credits. But if you want the best results, I would suggest using GPT Image 2. So now all you have to do is you have to click generate and that gives you a result like this. An important note on this though is your output will only be as good as your input. So in my case, for example, it would have been best if I took like a high quality selfie of my face to get better results. But this is good enough. If you're starting from scratch and you don't have a character yet, like in my case, I have an image of myself, that's my main character. But if you want to start from scratch, another good way to get started on this is to use Higgsfield Soulcast. You can find this if you go over to Higgsfield. If you go and click on the Cinema Studio, then you go over to images and here you can select the AI cast. Now this is quite good if you're just getting started. Like I made these examples. All I just did is type in a really simple prompt and it gives you these different character sheets. So that is the custom tool that you can use. Really easy to use if you're just getting started. You want to repeat this process for every character that will star into your video. So here I got different variations of myself. So I did the same thing using myself as an example in multiple different ages. Then here I made this character first, then I made a mistake with the number, and then I thought like, oh, let me change it to number 10. And then later I was like, nah, I want to play as number 9. So then I just use a bit of Nano Banana and I change the number from 10 to 9. Then you also want to do the same on your other characters that will star into your video. So I did the same for the coach that will play in there, and I did the same for the assistant coach that also plays a role in the video. So I would also suggest using something like either Supercomputer or something like Figma. I actually made this with the Figma plugin on Higgsfield, and it's really useful to keep everything organized. So if we go over to this video, we can see we go for the characters to the mood board, and that's actually also the next step. Because now that you have all of your characters in place, you have a better understanding of what your story is about. Before you start generating anything, what I always like to do is I like to put my idea through some AI tool like Claude and then have it help me come up with mood boards. In this case, I actually used Claude through Supercomputer. So all I did is I just put like whisper flow or like a voice message in there, and I asked it to make a few storyboards. So it came up with all of these different storyboards, and that gave me inspiration for the rest of my video. So I had a rough idea of like me watching TV, and then I play outside, then I be at some smaller stadium, but I did not know what angles to use and all of that. Now with these character sheets, you can get some good inspirations on like colors that you want to use, on angles that you think of locations, all of that. So that's why I generated this like a bunch of different times, and Supercomputer does a great job at this. So that's what I would suggest. First, think of your story, then build out your characters, then refine your story through something like Higgsfield Supercomputer, build out your first drafts, so then you have a good understanding of what your video will be about. So that makes sure that you don't waste any credits when you change your story later down the line, because you already have that set in stone during your ideation period. So those mood boards actually give me a better idea of where my story will take place, and that is the location. I also call this world building. Now, world building is so important because you need to think of where your story will actually play out. Where does your character live? Like, what's happening around him? Where does everything take place? What does the surrounding look like? Those are things people don't really think of. For this story, I made these 4 inspiration locations, and this is what I'm gonna use throughout my video as references. Let me show you one of the easiest ways to create locations for your stories. So you want to go over to Cinema Studio again. Now, instead of using AI Cast, we're gonna switch it over to cinematic locations. So for the location, let's do something fun. I'm gonna type in rich nightclub interior, and this time I'm gonna generate like 10 of them. That allows me to go through them, and it's also super cheap to generate this. And I have a super vague prompt, so I will just let the AI do all of the hard work. Now that gave me all of these results, and they vary quite a lot. But one of them jumped out to me, like I really liked this one. So this is the one that we will be using for our location. What you can do now is, if you want to have multiple different angles of it, you just click on these 3 dots, then you click on additional, and then you click on multi-shot. What this will do is it will allow you to generate multiple different locations from the same shot. Again, this is super cheap, just hit generate, and now it will come up with a grid version. So then it creates these 9 different angles. Not all of them are good, but these 4 are the ones that I like the most. So we can now upscale them, and we can use them in our videos as references. So now that we have all of the different assets, we can start putting this all together. So I got these different assets. I made one more character sheet of these shoes, and now we can put that into our prompt box. Again, we're using Cinema Studio 3.5 here. I've added in all of the references, and then I'm just gonna do this simple prompt. Make a cinematic scene. This character dances in this location, then a mysterious person enters and gives him a box with these shoes. Use different movie style angles, shots, and while keeping everything consistent. Now, I'm not specifically referring to this image here, because I'm the only person in there. If you have multiple people in there, you might want to refer into it with the add button. So we're using Cinema Studio for this, or you could also be using seedance 2 or seedance 2 fast for that. Then you click generate, and then you can get something like this. While you're in this pre-production phase, there's one thing that I would suggest you do, and that is to create a reference bank. What I mean by this is you create a folder where you store everything. The easiest way to do that is to just go to your assets and you can create a folder in here. I've created this folder right here for this entire ad. Like all of the assets I made are in here. Another way you can do this, which I also sometimes use, is Figma. So with the Higgsville plugin, you can also put all of your assets in here, organize them with prompts and also links in there. This is much more visual and much easier to use than using the folder in Higgsville. The last method I used is using Supercomputer to organize everything from the generation aspect to the storyboarding to the prompting, all of that. Like that's also the method that we used here. This will also store all of your assets in here. I just find this a little bit harder to find. So that was all the hard work that we had to do to lay the foundation to start generating our videos. Now let's go over to production. I'm going to show you 3 different video techniques that you can use to generate your videos. The first technique is very simple. We're just going to use a first frame. So I've made this first frame where I am chatting up with Ronaldo. What I did for this is I just used a reference image of me, then I used a reference image of Ronaldo, then I used Supercomputer to help me generate this prompt. It made this insanely complex prompt. Basically what I asked it to do is I said, help me make an image where I'm chatting with Ronaldo, over the shoulder shot of some guy that is in front of the camera and it looks like it is secretly taken. Then it used GPT Image 2, it is best for that, to make this shot. What you can now do is if you turn this into a video, it will then use it as a reference in the video generator. And here you can switch between Kling or seedance. For this, as it is a simple shot that I have in mind, I'm just using Kling. Also, it's way cheaper, so that's why I'm using this. Important to note, make sure you upload your reference image as the start frame. If you're using something like seedance and you're uploading a reference here, let's say I upload this reference right there, then you have to click the 3 dots and then you have to say start frame. Otherwise, it will be a reference. In terms of the prompt, this prompt seems long, but it's not that bad. Basically asking it to create a photorealistic, handheld documentary style shot in a stadium service corridor after the match, filmed discreetly past a blurred staff member in the foreground. So I'm describing, I'm kind of like directing what's going on there. Then I'm including some details like it looks a bit grainy, showcasing a young Netherlands number 9 player having a privately swapping shirts with the GOAT Ronaldo. Then we're keeping it real time and raw, slight focus hunting, a small punching, careful reframe. I want it to be like natural and kind of like cheeky, like it's not intended to be filmed, but it's secretly filmed by this cameraman, like he picked it up. Then you can choose the desired duration and the aspect ratio. I will do 4K and then you hit generate and then you get something like this. The second technique that you can use to create videos is through references. So for this, we're going to switch over to seedance 2. Then you want to upload your characters right here in the upload media. Let's say we're uploading this character right here. Then it has to wait to be eligible. For example, this image unfortunately wasn't eligible. Then you upload your other character or any type of reference that you have. This can be audio, it can be a video, it can be multiple different images, anything that you can imagine, you can put it in there. The only thing you want to make sure of is that these are references, not start frame or end frames. So now you're correct. Then you can add in your prompt and now you hit generate and then you can get something like this.
You waited your whole life for this. Now it's time to step up.
What I also do a lot is having some kind of like start frame, but it doesn't have to start like that. And then adding in an extra character sheet of the character that I want to highlight to make them consistent. For example, I did that in this scene. The conversation they're having is Dutch gibberish and I literally prompted it for that. But what I want to point out is if you don't lock in your character sheets in there or if you don't add them as references, then you sometimes might have results where your character looks really bad. For example, in this generation, it completely loses the consistency around my face. The last technique that you could use if you want to have a bit more control is using the storyboard technique. So here I've made this storyboard of what I want to have happen. And I'm doing a full campaign at this point. So here I have this shoe and I kind of like want to make a bit of a perfume ad type godlike experience of this Nike shoe. That's the idea. I have these like 8 different shots. And if I turn this into a video and I let seedance make this, I literally said turn this into an ad, then seedance made something like this. So now you know the basics of how you can make your own type of video. If you want to extend this further, so for example, we're taking this to a whole campaign at this point. You can make some other fun, like behind the scenes stuff or stuff like this.
This is your moment. Time to step up.
Coach, about the substitutes.
Everybody asks me now about Dan. I tell you what I told him in October, be ready. Tonight, he was ready. The performance, the courage, fantastic.
Thanks.
We are very proud of him.
The cherry on top will be your editing. Now for this project, this is what my timeline looked like. So it's not that complicated actually. It's just stacking the clips together and making some necessary cuts in between some moments. If you become good at that, then you'll become a much better filmmaker. One thing that I would recommend when it comes to editing your videos is to install the Higgsfield plugin. This will save you a ton of time when it comes to importing your clips, and also it allows you to easily regenerate some of your scenes. You can do this for both Premiere and DaVinci Resolve now. If you want to see the assets and the prompts that I used for this video, make sure to sign up to my free school community where I will drop in all of the assets. Besides that, if you want to try this out for yourself, I would highly recommend using Higgsfield. I will also leave the link to that in the description down below. If you want to learn more about filmmaking and maybe some of the more advanced techniques, then watch this video that's on the screen right now.